Now that we have a few of the basic definitions down about geometry, let's take a look more at angles. Alright, so first things first, when we classify angles, we basically can put every angle into one of four categories. Category number one, acute angles. Category number two, obtuse. 3, right angles, and number 4, straight angles. So an acute angle is an angle whose measure is less than 90. So measure is less than 90. And it's also greater than 0. Should probably write that as well. Alright, so it's anywhere in between, the measure is anywhere in between 90 and 0. That's how we would write that if we were to use an inequality notation. The measure is less than 90, but it's greater than 0. An obtuse angle is an angle whose measure is greater than 90 but less than 180. Alright, so these are sort of the wide open angles. It has to be less than 180 but bigger than 90. A right angle is an angle whose measure is exactly 90. So if we were to use this notation again, it would be a little easier. And a straight angle is an angle whose measure is exactly 180. It's a straight line. Alright, so those are the basics. Alright, let's talk about pictures. An acute angle, if you want to do it off to the side, put them over here. An acute angle kind of looks like this. Something like that. Alright, an obtuse angle sort of looks like this. A right angle looks like this, and there's a little box there to let you know it's 90. And a straight angle is just a straight line. So those are the basics of angles, right? Every angle has a measure. That measure is in degrees, which is what that symbol means right there. That's not only how we measure temperature outside, but it's also how we measure degrees, or excuse me, measure angles. Alright, so having said that, let's go through some angle notation. Some basic stuff. If you see, let's say we have an angle that looks like this, right? And we have A, B, and C. Point B is called the vertex. Right here, that's the vertex. That's where the angle turns. And if we were to actually sort of write this angle down, we would say angle. That's the way you write an angle, even though it doesn't really look like that in the actual diagram. You'd say angle ABC or angle CBA. Or if it's by itself in a diagram, you can just call it by its vertex. Alright, and this one of course would be obtuse. Alright, this angle right in here, if I were to guess, is about 150 degrees. Okay. If there are more than one angle in a picture, if there are a lot of angles going on like this, so two lines that intersect, got a lot of stuff going on here. All right, we have some letters. Let's go D, E, F, G, and H. Alright, so let's say we wanted to talk about this angle right in here. So that angle would be called angle EHF or angle FHE. So that one's in blue. If I wanted to talk about this angle right in here, I would put two arches there, make it a little clearer. I'd put two arches, and I would call that angle EHD or angle DHE. Notice for both of these I can't just call them angle H because that's too confusing. There are too many angles stemming from vertex H. Alright, if I wanted to, if I kind of came down here and had a diagram that looks like this, again we'll throw some letters on there. I, J, K, and L. If I wanted to refer to this angle right in here, that would be angle KJL. But let's say I wanted to refer to this whole angle right here. Alright, that is a straight angle, and I would call that angle KJI or angle IJK. So this time the letter in the middle is still the vertex, but it doesn't really seem like the vertex. Alright, this right here is the vertex, even though the angle doesn't really turn. The red angle doesn't really turn at all. Alright, so that was how we would sort of denote a straight angle. Other than that, we talked about classifications right there, talked about some measure notation here, and it's really important that you know how to write these angles and sort of be able to identify them in more complicated pictures. But for right now, I think that is pretty good.